Steve, a good win. We got there in the end. We made life hard for ourselves.
We needed 3 points today, didn't we? I thought we created a lot first half and did as much as we could. Again, as much as we're allowed to do, we were trying to play the way we played. But yeah, I mean, really, it should have been a more comfortable afternoon than that. No disrespect to them, they've had a really tough season, a lot of changes. They kept going, they've got young, fresh legs, and now that they're down, they may have played with a little bit more freedom. But really, it was all down to us. Really, how the game turned out, because we gave 2 really bad goals away. Ball watching on the first goal. Decisions, second goal, too deep, not close enough to people, just really avoidable. But we kicked back into gear with a really good goal, and that's the goals when the pitch is like it is. And we played a lot of good football. Don't get me wrong, but we had a lot of chances just to put the ball in the box and take the pitch out of the equation when you've got somebody like Jack in the 6-yard box, and then that's how it turned out in the end, with a really good delivery from Scott, and scratching your heads why we didn't do it more.
Jack Maskell scored twice. He admits himself he should have scored a hat-trick, but it was a great performance by him, wasn't it? Yeah,
I mean, as I've said to you a few times, he's came a long way in the last sort of 3 or 4 months. He found it difficult, the step up. I mentioned it before. But we knew we had a player there, and he's as I say, he's starting to look like a real handful now. Not just his goals and his aerial ability, but he's been really good in his link up, and he's aggressive, and he works his socks off. So yeah, I'm really pleased for him. I'm just gutted he didn't get the hat-trick, and obviously Sam's came on and scored a really good goal at the end. And when things are like that, and now we've got bodies back again, I think it's important to keep trying to get fresh legs on, because heavy pitch in April. You need as many fresh legs as you can, so that's what we try to do. We took heads off, just have another attacking player on the pitch, and as I say, it worked out well in the end, but it was harder than it should have been.
Yeah. Will McGowan made his return home debut, and he had an impact as well, didn't he? He created the goal for Caden Kelly, for example, and he had a hand in one of the goals later on.
Yeah, he's a good player. He looks after the ball really well. We missed him when he went back to Gateshead, and we're delighted to have him for the rest of the season. So, going away next week might suit us a little bit more than today did, because really, as I say, it's really tough to play the way that we really want to play at home. So going away next week, the same mindset. Really, we need to win. We need to win every game. So it'll be really tough. They're a fantastic team. They've got some great players, but we have to go there believing we can get 3 points.
The good thing as well, though, Steve, we're not 7 points behind the playoffs anymore. We're only 5. Kings Lynn dropped points today.
There's going to be a lot of twists and turns, and that's why all we can do is just keep winning, and we can't look back to what has gone on before this. We can have a look at that in the summer. Where could we have done better? What could we have done better? But for now, it's about resting up, getting 2 good sessions in, and going down there with a game plan to try and get another 3 points.